Hello everybody, welcome to ESC Fan TV. I'm Elliot and got Gustaf, but if you can see below me, we've got someone different. We've got JÆGER, who competed in Melodi Grand Prix this year. Hello JÄGER, how are you first and foremost?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant. And before we go any further, how have you been dealing with this year, the pandemic and everything? Is everything okay in Norway? Are you safe? Everything like that?
We're safe over here, but this is our second lockdown now that we're going through, so it's kind of strange. I also work in the service industry, so for me, I'm not really working as much anymore. I'm mostly in here writing music, which is also very good as well. But yeah, weird times right now, definitely.
So, second lockdown, I can feel that. We're still in ours as well, so yay. So, let's jump into you because obviously a lot of people know you from Melodi Grand Prix, but you did a lot before that, and also you grew up in, I believe, the States and Canada. So what was that like growing up across the Atlantic?
Yeah, it was quite different than Norway, but my mom is a diplomat, so every 4 to 5 years we would move to different countries or places in countries. So we lived in Ottawa, Canada, San Francisco, the Philippines, and Washington, D.C. So a lot of traveling, and then I got back when I was 18, but it was a lot of, I don't think I would have experienced as much music and the way I did if I didn't live in the States and Canada at the time that I did. Yeah.
Okay. And how would you say living in the States and Canada did influence your music? Because you said then like your music would probably be very different or you wouldn't be exposed so much. How did that influence it?
Well, in the States, I went to something called School of Rock, where it's basically like a movie with Jack Black, and the movie is actually based on the chain of schools called Paul Green School of Rock. So you're put into different bands and you cover different classic rock bands every month. And so I think that really influenced my music and the way that I sing and perform, definitely. And I wouldn't have the chance to do that if I lived in Norway, I don't think.
Brilliant. And your music, you say it's sort of like electro pop, sort of that sort of like dark wave like style. How did you land on that, and what were your inspirations that led you to that?
I do electronic pop, but I still have that attitude in there from the rock. But I ended up doing electronic pop because I've been mostly listening to that, and I think for me it appeals a lot to a bigger group of people as well. I feel like if I was to do Led Zeppelin rock music, not as many people would listen to it, but I definitely love electronic pop, and I love experimenting with synths and different sounds, which I think is really cool.
Brilliant. Well, I am a big electro pop fan as well, so I can safely say you were a big fan. I was a big fan of yours in Melodi Grand Prix this year because I was like, yeah, my music, love it.
Yeah, while it was more of a shock to everyone that I liked it so much.
Yeah. You mean Gustaf's the big ballad lover in our group, so the fact he loved like a contemporary pop song was a bit of a left field curveball for us all.
Yeah.
Because How About Mars it wasn't really a ballad.
No, not at all.
It was the complete opposite, but it was brilliant. Yeah. And then obviously in 2017 you competed in The Voice in Norway. What made you want to go for that? Like, were you approached? Did you audition yourself? How was the process? What was your experience from it?
I was actually contacted, I think it was through Facebook, by this guy. And then I was like, no, I don't do those TV shows. I don't do televised competitions, and that's not me. And then I actually said no first. And then he contacted me a week later. And he was like, are you sure? Would you maybe want to do this? Are you sure you don't want to do this? And then I ended up saying yes, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed being on stage and in front of people and singing and performing, so it was great. And I don't regret doing that at all. I really had a great time, and I mostly did rock actually on The Voice, so that was pretty cool.
Amazing. And once you left the show, how was the transition from being on TV, seen by millions, and then going back into what we would consider like normal life? Because there is a stigma, especially in the UK, around the lack of aftercare of reality TV shows, especially likes of The Voice and the X Factor, etc. So how did you find that transition yourself?
I mean, yeah, it's strange because you go from having all this attention and all these cameras on you for like couple of weeks and then nothing, and you're back to your normal life again and back to your job. So it was a little strange, but I think it's also quite nice that you can do both. And I mean, obviously I would love to perform every single day if I could, but I think all in all, it's been a really good experience after and during. So yeah.
Brilliant. And then let's fast forward to 2020, Melodi Grand Prix. Again, were you approached? Did you enter yourself? How did you go about that? Because obviously Norway did something a bit different where they pre-selected people and then others had to go through a semi-final. So were you contacted? Did you think, I want to do this myself? Like, what was the thought process and the timeline for what happened in January?
Well, I was contacted because of the song I did with Doust, actually, who was in Melodi Grand Prix before and Eurovision, which was called "Kiss the Ring," and we actually released that after. So that was the song I was supposed to go in with originally, and that they wanted me to do and contacted me about. But then they said it didn't really fit Eurovision like they wanted it to be, and then they suggested the song "How About Mars," which I didn't write myself. So I was kind of iffy, like I wanted to go in with something I'd written myself, but then I really enjoyed the song after I heard it a couple of times. But it is a strange song, and it was weird hearing it the first time, and I was like, is this actually me? Could I do this? Could I make this happen? And yeah, it worked out.
And obviously the staging Melodi Grand Prix, you had the bright pink hair, the matching shell suit to go with it, which was brilliant. And then obviously you're on this giant turntable as well. You had like overlays and everything else going on. Was that all your idea?
Yeah, I mean, we were, so basically what happened is they put me in this meeting room with this long meeting table, and we're all sitting there, and they're like, so what do you want? What do you want in your performance? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like anything? I can just have whatever, we can do whatever. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I just thought of the text of the song and everything that's going on. And I was like, this has to be crazy, and it has to be out there, and it has to be weird. So I was like, what if we just pretend I'm in space and just make it look like this crazy universe, and I'm this alien going off to Mars, and just make a huge thing out of it? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And then I had this, like, I remember I had this Pinterest board, like this vision board I had made with all these crazy ideas, and I was like, this is never going to happen. And then, so I had like this like crazy spacesuit and like this like Neo Tokyo style in the background, and literally everything I had suggested was on that stage and on camera. So that's pretty crazy.
I can now just imagine you walking back in with this giant whiteboard of just things and arrows and just going, well, this, and this.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's insane that they actually did that.
No, that is amazing. They gave you complete creative control, and like I said, it was a very striking performance. Like you said, you were bright pink, you had overlays, you were spinning on the turntable, then you're on the floor, and then it was brilliant.
Well, I wanted it to be memorable, and that, yeah, it'd be a performance that you would remember.
That it was for sure.
And how was the experience for you? Like, did you go in going, I want to win? Was it just a thing of like, oh, let's see how this goes? Because, you know, unfortunately, and we say unfortunately, you lost out to Rain Alexander, and we're still bitter about that slightly. But what was your goal for Melodi Grand Prix? Are you competitive? Were you thinking, I want to represent Norway? Or was it just let's see what happens?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't, I had no hopes to, like, I mean, it would obviously be amazing to win or something like that, but for me it was just a performance, and just the fact that I was able to do that, and with like the show that happened, I'm just grateful for that. And yeah, when I was on that stage and you were standing there and they were going to choose who was going to win and everything, I was just like, this is an awesome experience, and and he is amazing as well at end. And I thought he did really well. So I really appreciate the experience and being able to do that.
Amazing. And would you ever consider doing it again if you had the right song? Is it something you would definitely, is that a door you'd keep open?
I don't know. Maybe. Right now, maybe if I was able to do it with a song I'd written myself, I think that's very important to me. I am first and foremost a songwriter, and I really enjoy performing songs that I have written myself as well. So, yeah, maybe if that was a chance that it would have been one of my songs, yeah. Right now, I'm just focusing on getting material out there and my own songs out there on Spotify and everything, and just keeping the music up.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, let's say we're now going to move on to the here and now, because obviously you've got some big, exciting things coming up for you since Melodi Grand Prix. So, Gustaf, I shall leave that with you. Take it away.
Yeah, I was like, when am I going to speak?
I'm sorry.
No,
Fine, I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, you gave us a road there, so I'm going to take it. What have you been up to since Melodi Grand Prix?
Well, I've been in the studio a lot, writing, and working with a lot of really cool people in the studio, and performing a little as well, and doing different projects.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
And I have heard that you have some things coming really soon.
Yes.
Yes, so tell us about that.
Yeah, I am releasing my single Capiche, and it is my 5th single from my EP, and last, actually. So yeah, there's 5 singles on this EP, and the EP is called My First Extended Play. So I'm really just trying to get that music out there, and hopefully people will listen to it. That would be awesome. But yeah, Capiche is very like experimental electro pop song with a lot of weird synths, and yeah, it's quite experimental, I'd say.
Capiche is a fantastic title of a song.
I remember I was like trying to write the word capiche, and I had no idea how to write it, because it's written in a lot of different ways actually too. But it's capiche is what we found out. Capiche. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I am really excited about hearing all of this stuff. I haven't heard anything. It's going to be exciting to go back and listen to it. I have, however, spent all day listening to How About Mars, so to get this moment.
Warming up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do you have anything else, Elliot?
I was just going to say, like, obviously, say Capiche, you say it's quite experimental and things like that. Would you say that is what this EP is like? Like, if someone has only heard How About Mars and nothing else from your music, how would you describe this and make them listen to it?
I would say it's a lot like How About Mars, but a little more chilled. Like, I think How About Mars is a little more out there and crazy, but these songs are also out there and crazy, but not as pumped up. Like, I feel like How About Mars is a very like song that you could work out to and like go crazy to, but these songs are a little more you can sit and chill and listen to them and relax. Yeah.
And when will these all be released, and where will they be released? Will they just be any streaming platform, and on what date, if so?
Capiche will be on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, you name it, it's there. And all the other ones are there from before, and it'll all turn into this whole EP after Capiche is released now.
That is amazing. And do you have any... Obviously, 2020 has been a very hard year for like yourself and those in the music industry, but in an ideal world going into future in 2021, what is your goal with your music? Is there anywhere where you want to perform? Anyone you want to perform to? Like, what are your ambitions going forward at the moment?
I mean, right now it's getting people to listen to my music. That's my biggest goal. And I would love, like, my plan before COVID lockdown happened was to go on tour. So I would love to do that when things open up again and play to different people in different towns and maybe even do a Europe tour. That would be an amazing dream.
I will be in the first row if you come to Sweden.
Oh!
I was going to say...
But
I'd say even if you did just a Norway tour, there are plenty of people who get a flight to come see you, I think, especially in the little Eurovision bubble, because your song was, I was not saying this, your song was very popular and there was a lot of love for it when it got released. And as a final point, what would you like to say to all those that have discovered you through How About Mars and going forward, and, you know, what would you just like to say finally?
I want to say thank you for listening so much to my songs and supporting me. And a lot of people have been supporting me still and just listening to everything I've been releasing. And I've gotten so much love through DMs on Instagram and Facebook, even now. And it's like, I would think like people would have forgotten me. But there's still love there. And I appreciate it so much. I hope you guys check out the track and all the other ones that I've released. And yeah, much love.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, JÄGER. That's everything we have. And guys, if you haven't, please do make sure you go check out her music. Her name is right there. That's how you spell it. And as you said, it's on all streaming platforms, so you have no excuse to listen to her new single and her brand new EP. Thank you so much for your time, JÄGER. We've really appreciated it and really enjoyed it. And they said, we just wish all the best for you. And trust me, I'm sure not just myself and Gustaf, but several others from the ESC Fan TV will be listening to your music and having a good time with it. I promise.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we'll dig out the pink shell suit as well and listen to it whilst wearing that as well. Well, that is all we have time for, you guys. We're going to say a big thank you once again, and make sure you come back for more interviews like this and reviews, because I think we're going to be very busy, and, you know, we might even, if there's enough traction, do a little review of JÄGER's EP in the future. Who knows? But until then, we'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.